The progressive buck stops with the monotheist. I'm trying to read Doubt, the book by Jennifer Michael Hecht, recommended by a friend. I try every day. She is a poet, so the prose is fun and often arresting, but the premise in the title is not there. Or it is doubting of the idea of a male God above the clouds that controls and gives meaning to human life. Okay, but the doubters seek and find only alternatives, simply other versions. Plato to Jesus to Thomas Jefferson. They have the same need as the God explanation fans. They might be enlightened, a happening that I must be heir to, but find nothing really interesting or profound in the Enlightenment, seeking as it does to replace the God explanation with a more reasonable or, quote, scientific one. They still need an explanation. That I don't. So she asks the scale of doubt quiz. Do you believe that a particular religious tradition holds accurate knowledge? Do you believe that some thinking being consciously made? Is there an identifiable force coursing through the universe? Could prayer in any way, that is, do you believe that such a being or force? Now, if I was asked these questions, do I believe that there are religious traditions that hold accurate knowledge of the ultimate? Yes. Do I believe that thinking beings consciously made the universe? No, I don't. Is there an identifiable force coursing through the universe? No, I don't believe it. But if she'd written, are there identifiable forces coursing through the universe, holding it together or uniting all life forms, I would say yes. Could prayer, do you believe that such a being or force, in other words, it's always singular. Her questions are couched in the singular. And if they were multiple, I would either say, I don't know, or I think it's entirely possible. I do believe that there are several explanations. Now, I might do this because I might not need an explanation, because I'm stupid, incurious, unimaginative, conservative, and as a white man, bigoted. As I am privileged like the 1% and have inherited the scientific truths, the explosion of medicine, psychiatry, and technology, and am surrounded, nay, inundated by the concrete and concreteness of 21st century existence, I am a lotus eater, etc., on and on. Except my incuriosity is freighted with a crazy sense of security. I do not feel out of place, scarce half made up, lost, alienated, or in need of something larger than myself. As a recluse, I don't seek community because I know it's there. I walk out the front door and there it is. Plato, Jesus, and Jefferson all believed in an organizing principle. So how are they doubters in this context? The world is magnificent, so a male thing must be in charge, according to these three chaps. I don't disbelieve this. I have no need to believe it. There are many borders to these communities we have created, many crossings, passports must be shown, visas stamped, citizenships and self-definings, not because they are real, but because Plato, Jesus, and Jefferson, Rousseau, Kant, Descartes needed them, desperately. Evidence of separate personal insecurity and need for all these men, of desperate personal insecurity and need, for all these men, women remained in the kitchen, with the exception, possibly of Jesus, out of our fantasies. Out of their personal hierarchies, all the others have flowed like mountain streams. Superiority to all other species, to subspecies within their own, and ordering of the universe into good, bad, and better than. And Plato's elevation of the good has passed through the long years into supremacy and so much badness. The word doubt contains its own argument that there is a universal manufactured truth, religion, that we came out of, that we few will doubt. Doubt is the terrible second offspring of religion, which is really only monotheism in the way we think of it. Plato probably saw it coming, was suspicious. He hadn't discovered it, and unwittingly wrote out its parameters. His need was equivalent. Insecure man telling me why he is here. Plato shed light on, like Voltaire, shed the light of reason onto the murk of belief by changing the idol we believe in. Did I get the COVID vaccine because I believe in science? No, I am a betting man, and the odds were better. Hecht's series of men came up with a series of epiphanies, claiming we had been ploughing a fallow field for millennia, and now we are free. What is the defining revolutionary phrase in the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America? There isn't one in the Constitution. It allocates power to an elite as old as Gilgamesh, and on the evidence, little has improved. A slave state was founded. Quote, all men are created equal. I have a river under a bridge in Arizona to sell you. A friend suggested the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as being an original thought. I have the same bridge for you. The American miracle extended the franchise the English aristocracy had enjoyed since Beowulf. At the time of the Revolution, 15% of Englishmen owned land, 60% of Americans did, of men. I see no revolution. I see no virile doubter changing the course of history. I see a changing of hats. On my European travels last fall, I went through 4 or 5 monocultures. It was a chilling experience. The people are as suspicious of each other as the average US white person, but a lot less friendly. They might be curious, but without the madness should attend it. Curiosity is wasted. I felt all tingly coming back to Newark Airport, a thing unimaginable. We live right now in the reality of an Israel desperate to be in Iran. And do we not doubt the essential humanity of this impulse? Don't Trump, Biden, Sunak, Macron, and now the Dutch all hanker after Irandom. Sarah Haider, Haider, brilliant, wondered whether wokeness, she doesn't like it, is a natural response to the ick of the monotheisms. I think she has a point. Wokeness equals awareness equals enlightenment. So it isn't the gods in the heavens, it is the need of them, whether Plato's or Jesus or Thomas. It is the inability or the lack of talent to live with doubt, with not knowing, with the assumption that the only animal with a soul is us, that doth make cowards of us all. Assume a community if you have it not. The swiftness with which God and science are applied to prove one creature has the upper hand and the other does not has nothing to do with either fantasy, but all to do with our childish need of them. It is past time we grew up.